This is about the game of Pim. Pim is a game where you have 5 rows, and in each row, in the first row there's 1, the second row there's 2, the third row there's 3, the fourth row there's 4, and the fifth row there's 5. The object of the game, which is played between 2 players, is to have the other player be left with the last marker. You may take as many out of any row on your turn as you want. However, you may only take them out of one row. For example, if these 2 are crossed out, you could cross out this one and this one. Since the object is to get it so you're the one who does not have the last one to take, the place you want to see the person you're playing against is to have this. Then the second thing you would want to have your opponent see is something like this. If they take 1, then you take 1 and they have 1 left. Then the next thing you want your opponent to see would be 2 and 2. If they take 1, you take 2 and they have 1 left. If they take 2, you take 1 and they have 1 left. Then you would also want them to see a 1, 2, 3. If they take 1, you take 1, leaving 2 and 2, which is this, and they lose. If they take 1 out of here, you take 2 out of there, and it's 1, 2, 3, which is that one. Or if they take 2 out of this, then you take out the row and it leaves them with 1. If they take 1 out of this, you take out that and it leaves them with 2 and 2. You take out that. If they take out 2 out of the third, then you take out that one and it leaves them with 3. Then you would also want them to be able to see 3 and 3. If they take 1, you take 1 and it leaves them with 2 and 2. If they take 2, that leaves, and you take 3 and it leaves them with 1. You also want them to see 1, 2, 1, 2. If they take 1, you take 1 and that leaves them with 2. If they take 1 here, you take 2 there, and it leaves them here. Or if they take 2 there, you take 1 and it leaves them there. Or you would also want them to see 2, 2, 2, and 2. If they take 1, then you take 1 and it leaves them with 1 and 1 and 2 and 2. If they take 2, you take 2 and it leaves them with 2 and 2. You also want to have them see 4 and 4. If they take 1, you take 1 and it leaves them with 3 and 3. If they take 2, you take 2 and it leaves them with 2 and 2. If they take 3, you take 4 and it leaves them with 1. Then you would also want them to see 1, 4, and 5. If they take 1, you take 1 and it leaves them with 4 and 4. If they take 1 out of this one, you take 3 and it leaves them with 1, 3, 2. If they take 2, then you take 2, and again it leaves them with 1, 2, 3. If they take 3, you take 4, and it leaves them with 1, 1, 1. If they get on this row, they take 1, you take 1, and it leaves them with 4 and 4. If they take 2, then you take 2, and it leaves 1, 2, 3. If they take 3, you take 1, and it again leaves them with 1, 2, and 3. If they take 4, you take 3, and it leaves them with 1, 1, and 1. If they take all of them, you take all of them, and it leaves them with 1. You also want them to see 1, 1, and 3, 3. If they take 1, you take 1, and it leaves them with 3, 3. If they take 1 out of this row, you take 1, and it leaves them 1, 2, and 2. If they take 2 out of this row, Then you eliminate this row and it leaves them with 1, 1, and 1. If they see this, then if they take 1, then you take out this row and it leaves them with 1, 2, and 3. They take out 2, you take 2, it leaves them with 3 and 3. They take 1 out of this row, you take 1 and it's 2, 2, and 2, which is there. If they take 2 out of this, you take 2 out of that and it leaves them with 1, 2, 1, 2. If they take all 3 of them, and you take all 3, it leaves them with 2, 2. They're presented with 1, 1, and 4, 4. They take 1, you take 1, it leaves them with 4, 4, and they lose. They take 1 out of this, you take 1 out of this, and it leaves them with 1, 1, 3, 3, which is here, which they lose. They take 2 out of this, you take 2, and it's 1, 1, 2, 2, which is here. They take 3 out of there, you take 4 out, and it leaves them with 1, 1, 1. If you also want them to see 2, 2, 3, or 4, 4. They take 1, then you take 1, and it leaves them with this one. They take 2, you take 2, it's 4, 4, and it leaves them with that one. They take 1 out of here, you take 1 out of there, and it's 2, 2, 3, 3, which is here. If they take 2 out of this one, you take 2 out, and it's 2, 2, 2, 2. If they take 3 out of here, you take 3 out, and it's 1, 2, 2, 1. If they take all 4, you take all 4, and it's 2, 2. The winning first move is you take the top one, and it leaves them with 2, 3, 4, 5. They take 1 out of this, then you eliminate that, and it goes to 1, 4, 5. They take 2 out of there, you take 2 out of here, and again it leaves them to 1, 4, 5. They take 2 out of here, you eliminate that, and again 1, 4, 5. They eliminate this row, you take 1, and it's again 1, 4, 5. They take 1 out of this row, you take 2 out, or you take 3 out of here, and you go to 2, 3, 2. They take 3 out of here, you eliminate this row, and it's 1, 2, 3. They take the whole row, you take all but 1, and again it goes to 1, 2, 3. They take 1 out of this row, you take 1 out of that row, and it goes to 2, 2, 4, 4. They take 2 out of this row, you take 2 there, and it's 2, 3, 2, 3. They take 3 out of here, you take 2 out of there, or you take 1 out of there, and it's 2, 3, 3, 2. They take 4 out of there, you eliminate this row, and it's 1, 2, 3. They take out this whole row, you take out 3, and it's 1, 2, 3. And that's how you win at PIM. Other winning first moves are you eliminate that one, or you eliminate that one. Those will be left as an exercise for the viewer.